Hey everyone, it's Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing a longer video today, and I thought it'd be better to do a longer video on the weekend and you guys can enjoy it. It is going to be my September journal pages. But first, real quick, I wanted to share with you my August pages. So I just usually do it bullet style, bullet journal style, bullet points or arrows, and then I just fill in a couple little things from the day and call it good. So that is those pages, and like I said, I hope you enjoy the September pages. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you my September pages and my plans for September. Traci Reed just came out with a amazing collection, Harvest Moon, and I cut out all the different stickers. That's what they're called, stickers, but I just use presentation matte paper. It is the perfect kit to transition from summer to fall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a bunch of these over here to make a die cut page, and then I'll stamp out September. So then I'll go into the weeks, and I kind of drew out the boxes ahead of time, so that way it would take less time. And I drew inspiration from several different places just because I didn't want to reinvent the wheel, and I used a few of my own spreads, like this one I've done before, and then I did some hexagons. That one, this one I kind of just wrote out the days where I want them, and then another one to wrap up the month. So I hope you guys are excited to see me put these together and see what I come up with for this month in my journal. Okay, starting with my opening page, and for this one I'm going to gravitate more towards the traditional fall colors, especially once I picked the So Ready for Autumn die cut in the center, and then I just go from there gathering up all the different pieces that I want to use. I'll use the blues and purples from Traci's Harvest Moon kit later on. For right now, it's just the traditional colors. I stamped September 3 times with an Everyday Explorer stamp set, and then I pulled in a blue die cut to kind of match the one on the far left that is the candle die cut. That way both sides have some of that darker blue color. And I put just a little banner at the top that said Welcome Autumn and a little pine cone, and eventually I'll add an arrow. And then I'm going to make a third cluster for a really good visual triangle over in the bottom. In the bottom I'll just have a label, like a circle label, and then a heart, and then a leaf, and then a rainbow. And that will finish off that little cluster. And then now that I've kind of placed everything on the left side, I can kind of start to adhere everything down. When I'm making one big cluster like I am for this page, I like to put it down first, play with the placement, make sure I like it, make sure it, to me, it feels like it all flows nicely together and that there's not a lot of gaps in between the pieces. So I have above my main So Ready for Autumn, I have a tag right there, and then 2 leaves, and then a circle, a rainbow, a butterfly. So just a little of everything from her kit. And then I also added in some mushrooms because I just couldn't resist. And I also pulled out a really old Studio Calico fall themed stamp set and stamped my happy place on the circle tag on the left side, and then warm and cozy twice. Also right now up in the top left above the candle die cut, and finally for the record in the bottom right. And that wraps up that page. Now I'm moving on to a Mandy Ford kit. I think it is called Chosen Place, but I will leave a link for it down in the description box below. Like I said in the intro video, I drew out the boxes ahead of time to kind of help me out because it just takes a long time for me to draw out boxes. I wish there was a template or some sort of stencil so that way I could just use that because it would make it so much easier. So I am going to go ahead and outline the boxes with my black micron, and then I will go ahead and erase the pencil marks. And I also am going to use, once again, the Everyday Explorer's calendar stamp set, and also the day stamp and the loopy month stamp set. I'll leave all those in the description box below, but I use those all the time. They're pretty much the only ones that I have. I don't really feel like I need any more stamp sets for calendars or days of the month, weeks, because I have a perfect set, right? Why do you need more than one? But Truly, as scrapbookers, we always like to have more than one, right? But I tend to just gravitate towards everyday explorers. So there you go. So September started on a Wednesday, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then I'm going to start looking at the Mandy Ford kit and kind of go from there to see what I want to use. In the kit, she has these tiny little, I want to call them tiny, affirmation cards, and I really liked the yellow one because it had the leaves. And I also took the washi strips and printed that on clear sticker paper. And I really liked the one that had the pinks and the yellows and kind of the whites. So I decided to go with that, especially when I see that huge pink typewriter with the My Story. I was sold. I knew I was going to use that. So I'm going to put the My Story below the Sunday, and then I will stick with the pinks and yellows and a little bit of white, and I'll just fussy cut everything out. I didn't want to figure out how to cut this stuff out on my Cameo. I just didn't want to take that time. I would rather just fussy cut it out, and it's really not that hard to cut a lot of these shapes out. So it's worth it to me to just get it done and move forward with my journal, right? So I'm going to make a cluster at the bottom with that huge typewriter. And then I decide to kind of balance that out with the card at the top. And then the left side is just going to have several clusters of leaves and flowers. And then I will put the border strip mainly up at the top and then a little bit down at the bottom right. And I am just continuing to finish up cutting out all the leaves that I need, and then I will start to place everything down. Like I said a little bit ago, to me it makes more sense to cut everything out, make sure I have it all figured out where I want to put it, and then I can go from there. Like this little cluster that I just did. I had 2 small pieces and I didn't like that. It didn't feel balanced. I needed bigger flowers to balance out the large typewriter and also the yellow card up in the top right. So I went ahead and got a bigger pink leaf, and now everything feels balanced, and that's why I am adhering everything down. So I have that typewriter and then a yellow leaf and then a smaller pink flower, and then of course I will put down a small piece of the washi strip. Also going to put down the yellow leaf up in the top left corner along with a large yellow flower, and that makes a nice anchor point for a visual triangle that I like to do. And then of course finishing up with the washi strip tape up there. And all I did was I just printed it on clear sticker paper. Super easy. Instead of just printing on my regular paper, I just print on sticker paper, and then there you go. You just cut out the strips and you have washi tape, faux washi tape, right? And then since I had the typewriter on the right and it was kind of heavy, I stuck with smaller flowers at the bottom left. And it's done. Okay, so this one I kind of played with ahead of time before I started recording because I really wanted to pull out all those blues and purples from Traci's kit. And the blues and the purples actually had the moon kind of theme to them, and I really loved that. They're so pretty. Something about moons, and in September and October, I just love decorating my journal with moons. So I am going to have a blue moon die cut up in the top right, and then a blue die cut up on the left side with another moon. And I'm just going with a simple column design. Once again, doing the micron, and then I will erase everything. This time I pull out some washi tape. I think one of them is just an old blue tape that I have, and then I decided to use a sparkle glittery silver tape that I had. That's why it's a little reflective while I'm filming. And that is actually a Happy Planner tape. So, but it works and it gets the job done. And it was the little extra like moon touch that I wanted. So I have this stamp set from Kelly Stamps, and for whatever reason, I've decided to not clean it. So it is a mess, and that's why I just dumped it. And I also decided to just do something a little different and use her stamp set to kind of spell out the month and the days. So not sure why I decided to do that because it's extra work, but I just decided I needed something different. So that's what I decided to do. And I didn't leave a lot of room for the day, the actual number for the day. So I am going to go ahead and use some Happy Planner stickers that are very, very tiny. And then that way I can squeeze in the days. but like for the 7th, I left no room for the 7th. So I'm just going to kind of stick it right above Tuesday, and that's just going to have to be good enough. And then the weekend, I will put 2 spots for the weekend to just jot a few things about the weekend. And then I can go ahead and start laying everything down. I'll have a nice bigger cluster at the bottom right with a blue die cut that says it's the simple things, and then I'll put a large blue label, and then all I want is sweater season, and then little moments, and then a rainbow. And I also got out a die cut that says stop teasing me fall, because on Thursday when I was making this page, I think a couple days had passed. I'm behind on putting these together and sharing it with you guys. But on that Thursday, we had a light sprinkle here in California, and it was the most glorious thing ever. I'm going to finish up this spread with a few stamped phrases on that label from a Feed Your Craft stamp set. And there you go. It's done. I love this page. It's so soft and pretty and festive. Okay, so this one I tried something different too. I decided to do the hexagons. They're kind of messy. And I also wanted to use up my stash. I have some really old stickers from Alicia Michelle, I believe that's her shop name, but I'll leave a link. There are these stickers that are about Enneagrams. I have type 4 and 6, and I'm going to go ahead and use those stickers. I'm an Enneagram 6. If you want to tell me in the comment section what Enneagram you are, that would be awesome. I love knowing people's Enneagrams. I'm a 6, but I kind of identify as a 4 too, because I do. So I decided to cover up that kind of awkward gap in the middle with a floral that I cut in half. These florals I got from Amazon after I saw April Mom Run Craft use them. So I love them. They're so great, and I need to use them more often. I'm going to put a little cluster down at the bottom, but I just kind of had to decide how I wanted to position it. And I'm getting ready to put one down and then realize I would rather have a quote there. So I go ahead and put a quote there. And then I'm going to put Wildly Dreaming up towards the top, and then Be Beautiful over on the right. And then I'll also add in some stars as well. And I will go back to using the Everyday Explorers stamp set for all of my days of the week, month, and actual days. So I just put September up there, and then I will stamp Monday through Sunday. I left a box for every day this time, and then 2 extras. One of the extras I put a quote in, and then the other one I just kind of put some of that floral that I have split across the 2 pages. And then I don't think I will add anything else to it. It's okay if that box remains empty. So I'm just finishing up with the stamping of the page, and then I'm going to add a few more florals, and this page will be done. So I wanted a little more up at the top, and then I cut it, and I just didn't like it, and I thought it would fit better on the left side because there was more space over there. So I'm just going to put it on the left side, and I like it better over there. And now I'm going to put a little piece up at the top right, and another little section down at the bottom left side. And I'm just so glad that I decided to pull these flowers that I've had forever and just use up some more of these, and also use some more of Alicia's stickers because they are just gorgeous. I love her stickers, along with According to Ali. According to Ali is such an awesome person, and I just bought some of her stickers. And this spread actually is inspired by her weekly Bojo. Tell me I'm saying that wrong, I probably am. But this is inspired by her journal spread. She has a big section up at the top left where she puts like September or a big cluster. And so I decided to do that, but with a card that says fall is my favorite. And then Ali likes to layer on the washi strips, and I just got these awesome washis. I think I said it in the intro, from Staples. I just love them. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. And then of course use the Everyday Explorers days of the week stamp set, and I'm using the same scripty one for all of them except for the weekend. The weekend I'm just going to kind of make a column on the right hand side, because I'm sure, like most people, I just don't need a lot of room on the weekend. I'm so busy with my family that I just don't need a lot of space for writing, I guess. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So I just put a 25, and then I'll put an arrow through 26. Also on that Fall is My BFF card, I took a portion that I tore off over and put it onto the right. And then I just layered the washi over the top of it. And I also pulled out some really old Cocoa Daisy die cuts that I wanted to use for the page as well. So I layered 3 washi strips up on the top of the right side page, and I just love them. I love the mix of colors, and then also the white based one really balanced out the rest of the fall colors that I had going on. And then I put 2 on the bottom left. I wanted to die cut over here. I had a book one. I had lots of them and I couldn't decide. I finally just decided to go with this right here, and I just cut off a portion of it so that way it just looks square. And then the bottom right is just going to have "This is my favorite." And now I'm moving on to the last spread for the month, and I'm going to go ahead and use another Mandy Ford kit, and I'm doing another column design with just 4 columns. You guys, I don't even know if these columns have the same amount of dots. I am not a professional, so I'm just winging it. So I just put, the boxes as best as I could. And then I used the wrong acrylic block, and so September look had to be stamped twice. I'm just going to cover up that boo-boo by adding in a big circle punched arrow, and I will do that in just a minute. I'm stamping the Monday through Thursday, and then I will add in the 27th through the 30th, and then I will try to decide what I want to add to this spread. So I'm looking through to see what I want to add. The die cut leaves are really big, so I decided to pull out the acorns and also some pumpkins and then some leaves. And this is where I'm going to cover up my boo-boo. There is a page of these wonky circles. They're just about 2 inches, and since they're supposed to be wonky, I cut them, I punched them a little off center so that way I could still make them a little wonky. And so I punched out 3 of them, and then I'm going to use those on my page. I also had some word phrase strips with the yellow paper, and I thought I was going to put those at the bottom, but I'm actually going to use them just as word phrase stickers. So I really like that. And as you can see, I put the arrow up at the top, and now you can't even tell that I messed up with my stamping up there. I'll also make another little cluster over at the far right with a pumpkin, and this is where I am trimming out some words to kind of sprinkle throughout the spread. I pick pumpkins, scarf, leaves, acorn, and boots. And scarf and boots, I am so hoping I get to wear those at some point in California. It's not looking like it, but I'm hoping. So the leaves, I am going to need a few more pieces, so I'm going to go to that paper that has all the different icons in a smaller format, and I will cut some of those out in just a second. I didn't know if I wanted that really bright yellow acorn. It felt like it was going to take away from everything else in the spread and kind of be too much for this spread. Especially with the yellow word phrase sticker. So I'm going to go ahead and replace that yellow acorn in just a little bit. I'm finishing up with the clusters on the left hand side with the orange circle, the word phrase stickers, and then the acorn. This is where I replace the yellow acorn. I just felt, like I said, it was too bright. So I went to a wood grain paper and I decided to add a leaf in the middle. And then that page is done. So there you go. All of my September journal pages, and I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing this video and seeing all my pages come together. I would absolutely love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you enjoyed seeing this video and want to see more of my videos. All right, I hope you have a great day. Bye.